It's alright.
Oh my god!
Yo guys, what is up? Moxsy on Borderlands 3 video, and today we're going over 10 things you did not know about Borderlands 3. Now, this game is chock full of little Easter eggs and interactions and cool item synergies, and today I want to talk about 10 things that maybe you did not know, maybe you did. We're going to play a little game. If I can get more than 5 things on this list that you did not know, drop a like, and if I can't get more than 5 things that you did not know, drop a dislike. Let's see how this goes. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's get right into it. So for the first thing you did not know about Borderlands 3, you need to come to the Forgotten Basilica where you fight the Rampager. Now, on your way to the Rampager, and I never noticed this, my chat actually showed me this, there is a QR code up here. Maybe you've noticed it, maybe you haven't, but I never noticed this QR code to scan that reads for an Easter egg to Nick Wilson, who's been an Easter egg in prior games. Nick Wilson is powered entirely by caffeine and electrodes. Pretty wild. Never noticed this. I hope you guys haven't either. And that is our number 1 spot. Coming in at our number 2 spot, and this one is a doozy, so just stick with me, are mismatched weapon types. Now, you probably know about one of the most famous ones is that the face puncher does melee damage, but there's a lot of guns that you probably wouldn't suspect that do different types of damage that they probably shouldn't. So, for example, the butt plug is one of them. The butt plug blue pistol. It looks like a pistol. It uses pistol ammo, but it does shotgun damage. So right now, I've got a shotgun class mod on. I have no skill point spec, no guardian rank. Turn off guardian rank. And when I shoot this thing, here's my damage. We're doing 30 per shot. When I swap to the exact same class mod, literally the same class mod, only thing that's different here is pistol damage. We'll go from 30k and down to 27k. It was only 23 there because I missed a pellet, but we lose damage because the butt plug is actually doing shotgun damage. And there's a lot of guns that are like this that you probably didn't know about. For example, the boom sickle does shotgun damage. The ion laser does assault rifle damage. The frozen devil pistol does SMG damage. The blood-starved beast does assault rifle damage. The EMP, the SMG, is super weird. It does bullet damage, not gun damage. You cannot boost it with gun damage skills or gun damage boosts, but you can boost it with your guardian rank, which counts as bullet damage increases, and the EMP shoots bullet damage, not gun damage. It's super weird. The Tiggs boob does generic damage. The host purple gun cannot crit and doesn't benefit from like literally anything. It's super weird. So yeah, that's our number 2 spot. Coming in at our number 3 spot is that Amaras Tattoos grow as she levels. Now, this is credit to Reddit user Kanahuko, who posted this to the Borderlands 3 Reddit, and I had no clue. As you can see, every 10 levels, as you level up and as you get stronger with Amara, your tattoos are going to grow along her arms, which is a super cool, small little detail that I bet some of you didn't know. Very, very cool there. All right, on to number 4. At our number 4 spot are broken skills. Now, when the game first launched, there was a lot of skills that just didn't work, that should have, and they've done a really good job at fixing a lot of those skills, but there are still some ones that remain, and I want to share some of the craziest ones that maybe you didn't know about. Now, the first one has to do with Anima. Anima reads, Amara's status effects deal increased damage over time and have increased duration. Her action skill status effect deals further increased damage. Now, this works fine as long as you're not spec'd into the base cryo action skill element on Amara. If you're spec'd into cold-hearted, Anima straight up breaks. It does not boost the duration or damage of your cryo damage, and it also breaks for all the other elements. So, for example, if you're using a cryo build with next 2 mags fire, or you're using a revolter, if you're spec'd into Anima, that Anima is not going to be boosting your shock dots or your fire dots or any dots at all if you're spec'd into cryo. It just straight up breaks the skill entirely, and we've got a few other ones. Some other ones are Moz's Explosive Fury. This skill reads Moz and Iron Bear gain increased status effect damage and status effect chance. This skill just doesn't work. It doesn't do anything. And if we go to Flak and Purple Tree, got a lot of things that don't work well. But one of the funniest ones is if you equip the loader bot, this bull loader is going to give you, oh, is it the other one? This ion loader is going to give you, it says, Loot Lemon's got it correct. It says it's supposed to give you elemental resistance, but it actually increases the damage that you take from all sources by 30%, which is pretty funny. But yeah, all right, number 5. Coming in at the number 5 spot are 2 things that happen when you're starting a new game that I was curious about. I didn't know, so I wanted to share this with y'all. So there's always been this easier mode here, and I never really understood what it did or what the difference was. On easier mode, you have a 20% flat damage reduction. I've seen some numbers float around there, but I believe the correct number is 20%, courtesy of Stone Swan, who tested this. 20% damage reduction on easier. And in addition to that, thanks to Killer6, because I did not know this because I always play on cooperation. But if you pick coopetition, the Lost Loot Machine does not work. Lost Loot Machine on coopetition just is not working. Only in cooperation, which is very interesting. That's our number 5. Coming in at our number 6 spot is that slam damage scales from the height that you jump at, meaning if you jump from a higher height, you will deal more damage to enemies. Some of you probably knew this, some of you probably didn't. But what you probably didn't know, or maybe, I guess we'll see, is that the Guardian rank Groundbreaker procs on every single enemy that you hit when you slam. So if you are going to go for a big Groundbreaker proc, if you do a bunch of melee damage and then jump from a high height and land on a few enemies, every single enemy is going to take that slam damage, and every single enemy is going to be getting hit by Groundbreaker, which is, I believe, one of the only ways to multiple proc Groundbreaker on multiple enemies at the same time, which is pretty freaking cool. Next up, you can travel your character with photo mode. Now, some of you may know that, like, for example, if you get a piece of loot stuck up somewhere, you can use photo mode to go grab the piece of gear. You can interact with things in photo mode while you're exiting, and it kind of acts as an extension of your character. For grabbing loot, this is really good. For like opening chests through walls, this is really cool. But there are some other cool things that you can do with it that every time I do this on stream, people are always like, whoa, I didn't know that. Is you can like interact with objects that'll actually teleport your character. So like this Malawan door, usually you have to kill all these 3 guys on these turrets. But you can actually just grapple, photo mode swap, and grab this turret and then not kill any of them, and now you're through. So you can travel with photo mode. Next up is that the Ion Laser has a built-in consecutive hits mechanic to it. Now, this gun has been featured earlier on this list. It's got a lot of cool things going on. A lot of you probably already know that you can like fire it for a while and then like pulse fire to get that like cool damage. But what you probably did not know is that it has a consecutive hits mechanic, and that is going to be stacking 20% gun damage every time you're shooting it for a maximum of 300% increased weapon damage while you're shooting it. So like, once again, no gear, no skills, no guardian rank. When I start shooting this thing, as we're firing it at a target, we're going to be stacking up damage, and it's just going to keep doing more damage. We started at 11k, and it looks like we went all the way to 46k, and then our little burst at 1 million. But 11k and stacks up all the way to, I guess, well, maybe if we had a little bit more mag size, but we're going to about 46k, which I think is the maximum we could get there, which is crazy. I've used this gun plenty of times. I did not know it did that. And then moving on to our number 9 spot. Coming in at our number 9 spot, and this is the only one on the list that I really hope you guys know. I think a lot of people do, but for those of you that do not, Mayhem 10 and Mayhem 11 are identical. They are the exact same thing. Your gear drops are not cut in half. You have the exact same chance for all gear, world drops, dedicated drops on Mayhem 11 versus Mayhem 10. It says you're going to be losing like XP and Iridium. It's not true at all. You get the same amount of XP, you get the same amount of Iridium on Mayhem 10 versus 11. The literal only difference between Mayhem 10 and 11 is modifiers. There is no change to the amount of loot you get, or the dedicated drops, or the world drop chances. They are the same. Just want to make that very clear. All right, and then we get to our very last one. And finally, at our number 10 spot to round out the list is Moz has a watch that works with in-game time that displays a compass and tells you the time of day. Unfortunately, I can't really show it to you in photo mode, because in photo mode, it like turns off. But if you look at the very bottom of the screen there, you'll see that it says 55. And right now I'm pointing south, and that could change over here and then go like northeast or east. So that works. It's functional, and it'll correctly display the time of day in game. But if you ever go to Sanctuary and you look at the watch, you'll notice that it stops displaying the time of day because there's not really days in space. Just a fun little cool detail. And yeah, guys, that is it for the list. Remember, if there are 5 or more things that you did not know on this list, you just gotta drop a like. It's how it works. But if I didn't get in more than 5 things you didn't know, drop a dislike. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will catch y'all in the next one. Take care, guys. Peace.